Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we'd like to talk about how Americans can come to Canada as a temporary resident or permanent resident. It's interesting and very specific topic, and the reason we've decided to make a video about this is because recently we've been getting many inquiries from our American fellows, and you can guess the reason. Of course, in this video there won't be any political stuff to be discussed. It's strictly about the information of the visa programs. So let's dive in. Okay, first of all, coming to Canada as a permanent resident, it is possible, but in practice, because of the current policies in place, it is almost impossible to come to Canada as a permanent resident directly. So you will have to come to Canada on a work permit or as an international student and gain experience or finish your school program, get Canadian degree or diploma. With that, more qualifications, you can apply for a specific type of immigration programs. So I would like to actually focus more on how you can come to Canada as a temporary resident. Okay, so temporary residents include visitors, students, and workers. Coming to Canada as a visitor is probably nothing interesting to you because as an American with your American passport, you can just come to Canada and stay up to 6 months as a visitor. And next common way or most way that people are interested in is how can you get a work permit? There aren't many special categories just for Americans, so you need to find a Canadian employer that is willing to support your work permit, just like any other foreign nationals. And depending on the occupation or job offer you are receiving, your employers will need to obtain a labor market impact assessment, we call it LMIA, from ESDC. To get the LMIA, employers will need to do advertising trying to show that they have tried to fill that position with Canadian citizen or Canadian permanent resident or open work permit holders. If there's no available workforce in Canada, then this job offer can go to you, and once the employer gets the LMIA approval, with that you can submit your work permit application. And as I said, there are some special jobs that make you eligible to apply for work permit without this LMIA because of the International Free Trade Agreement in place. We call it CUSMA, Americans call it USMCA. So these can include specialized workers, professionals, executives, and intra-company transferees. In this video, I won't talk about too much details of each program or each category. A lot of information is already available on our website, or you can send us an email and then we can discuss about your eligibility. And if this getting a work permit while you're in the States is impossible or very difficult, then the most common way is coming to Canada as an international student. And it's a very popular choice. It's because this is where the current Canadian immigration is put heavy emphasis on for a smoother transition or adapting to Canadian labor market. You come to Canada as a student, you finish your degree program or diploma program, and based on the length of the program, you can get post-graduation work permit. It's an open work permit that can be issued up to 3 years. You can work for any job, any employer, and all the work experience you're gaining here will give you points for you to be able to apply for Canadian immigration at a later stage. And when you're coming to Canada as a student, depending on the level of your education, your spouse can get an open work permit or long-term resident status. And your children will be able to go to school. If it's up to high school level, it's going to be free education except for the private schools. And university students, they will have to pay for the international student tuition. With that open work permit, employers can hire you very easily, and then typically after working in Canada for 1 year, they will make you eligible to apply for Canadian Experience class. If your points are not enough, you can work in Canada for 2 years or 3 years, which will give you more points. And then once you're eligible to apply for Canadian Experience class under Express Entry, you'll get your invitation, and IRCC Immigration Canada typically process your immigration application within 6 to 12 months. And if your employer is willing to support, and if your qualifications are strong, they can consider applying for a provincial nominee program, which will boost your chance of becoming an immigrant even further. So okay, in this video, I've touched very brief information about each program that may be available for you, because I didn't want this video to be too long. Like I mentioned, if you're interested in knowing more about the options for you, please send us an email at info@gbmimm.com, and we'll provide customized assessment for you and your family. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.